Okay, guys, so today we are gonna learn about syntax. Yes, syntax. But first, let me tell you about concept of syntax. Syntax is the study of the rules governing the structure of sentences in a language. It deals with how words are combined to form phrases, clauses, and sentences, as well as the relationships between these elements. Syntax includes the study of word order, sentence structure, and grammatical relationship between word and phrases. It aims to describe the principle and pattern that govern the way words are arranged in sentences to convey meaning. A proper understanding of syntax is essential for effective communication in a language. And we move to the next one is a phrases. Phrases in syntax, a phrase is a group of words that function together or as a single unit within sentence. It is a synthetic unit that is made up of one or more words that lacks a finite verb of its own. Phrases are important building blocks in sentence structure, and they are categorized based on their constituent parts and their synthetic function in a sentence. And there are several types of phrases in syntax, including non-phrase. Non-phrase, a non-phrase consists of a noun and any modifiers, such as article, adjective, or other nouns. It can also include determinants like this, that, these, or those. And then there's adjective phrases. An adjective phrase consists of an adjective and any words that modify it, such as adverbs or other adjectives. It usually functions as a modifier of a noun or pronoun. And there's verb phrases. Verb phrases consist of a verb and any modifiers or complements, such as adverbs, their direct object or indirect object. And there's adverb phrases. An adverb phrase consists of an adverb and any words that modify it, such as other adverbs or adjectives. It usually functions as a modifier of a verb, adjective, or another adverb. And there's the last one, the preposition phrase. A prepositional phrase consists of a preposition, its object, and any modifiers of the object. And we move to the next one, the clause. In syntax, a clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a predicate. A clause can function as a sentence if it is independent, meaning it can stand alone as a complete thought. An independent clause expresses a complete idea, and it includes a subject and a predicate similar to phrases. Clauses can also be classified into different types based on their functions and the type of word they contain. And there's a four clause. The first one, there's a three clause. The first one is a noun clause. A noun clause is a type of clause that functions as a noun in a sentence. It typically begins with a subordinating conjunction such as that, whether, or if. Example of noun clauses include I don't know what he wants and she asked me whether I had finished the report. And there's a adjective clause. An adjective clause is a type of clause that modifies a noun or pronoun in a sentence. It typically begins with a relative pronoun such as who, whom, whose, which, or that. Example of adjective clauses include the book that I borrowed from the library was very informative, and the man who lives next door is a doctor. And the last one is an adverbial clause. An adverbial clause is a type of clause that functions as an adverb in a sentence. It typically answers questions such as when, where, why, how, and under what condition. Adverbial clauses can begin with subordinating conjunctions such as since, although, when, and because. Example of adverbial clauses include because it was raining, we stayed indoors, and she sang beautifully when she was younger. And then there's a sentence. In a syntax, a sentence is a complete unit of thought that expresses a complete idea or statement. It is composed it is composed of one or more clauses that are grammatically connected and that convey a complete message. A sentence can be divided into two main types of clauses. The first one is an independent clause. Independent clause, also known as a main clause, is a complete sentence that can stand alone and express a complete thought. It consists of a subject and a predicate, and may also contain objects, complements, and modifiers. In example, I went to the store. And move to the next one is a dependent clause, also known as a subordinate clause, cannot stand alone as a complete sentence and must be attached to an independent clause to form a complete sentence. It functions as a noun, adjective, or adverb in a sentence. Example, although I was tired, I went to the store. Yes, there are 4 subtypes of sentence in syntax. First one is declarative sentence. A declarative sentence makes a statement or expresses an idea. It ends with a period. Example, I am going to the store. And the second one is the imperative sentence. An imperative sentence gives a command or makes a request. It can end with a period or an exclamation mark. Example, close the door. And there's third, integrative sentence. An integrative sentence asks a question. It ends with a question mark. Are you coming to the party? And there's a exclamatory sentence. An exclamatory sentence expresses strong emotion or surprise. It ends with an exclamation mark. Example, what a beautiful day it is. And we move to the next one. The next one is a constituent. In syntax, a constituent is a group of words that function together as a single unit within a sentence. The constituent can be a phrase or a clause. It is a structural element of a sentence that can be replaced by a single word or can be moved as a unit within the sentence. Constituents are formed by combining words that belong to the same grammatical category or function in the sentence. Constituents are formed by combining words that belong to the same grammatical category or function in the sentence. For example, in the sentence, the cat is sleeping on the mat. The noun phrase, the cat, and the propositional phrase, on the mat, are both constituents. The identification of constituents is important in analyzing and structure of a sentence and understanding its meaning. And we move to the next one. Is a surface structure and deep structure in syntax. In syntax, surface structure and deep structure are two levels of representation of a sentence. Surface structure refers to the actual words and phrases that are present in a sentence and how they are ordered and structured. It is the visible or audible manifestation of the sentence. Deep structure, on the other hand, refers to the underlying meaning of a sentence. It is the abstract, underlying representation that is responsible for the meaning of the sentence. It involves the analysis of the sentence semantics and syntactic structure. The relationship between surface structure and deep structure can be seen in the process of sentence generation and sentence analysis. A speaker or writer first generates a deep structured representation of a sentence, which is then transformed into surface structure through a series of synthetic rules. Conversely, when a listener or reader processes a sentence, they first decode the surface structure and then derive the underlying meaning by analyzing the deep structure. Okay, that's it. That's all I can tell you about syntax. I will see you in the next video.